Welcome to my YouTube channel. Okay, for my first video, I felt like being a little ambitious. So we're going to talk about what does it mean to revolt against the modern world? Okay, now I get this idea, or at least this phrase, from a author whose name was Julius Evola. He was an Italian author and, pagan, spiritual, esoteric sort of guy in the mid 20th century. His books are amazing. Highly recommend them. If you're interested in something cool to read. But he has this idea of revolt against the modern world. And it really does, it made sense for that time, but it really makes sense now. Okay, because it's gotten way worse since, the 20s or 30s. Although it was getting bad already back then, and he recognized that. But I think there's a few things that we need to lay out. So, the problem with the modern world is this. As humans, we have certain inalienable things that we want to do, right? We have creativity, we have an imagination, we have ambition, we have this fire in our souls to do things, right? To create, to build, to, curate a society and build a society worth fighting for, worth dying for, worth protecting and preserving this certain society, culture, way of life, right? We have all of these in us naturally. Well, what has happened in this new world order, this modern world that we live in, is, and some people debate, did it start after World War II? Did it start before then with the, French Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars? When did it kind of start? I think from really the start of the revolution, the Enlightenment, and then you have the American Revolution, French Revolution, so on and so forth. They all play their role in ushering in the New World Order. The world that we currently live in. Pax Americana, which is leading up to Pax Judaica, and this AI surveillance state. You're going to own nothing and be happy. You're going to eat the bugs. No more beef and meat. Right? So, this is what's happened. This is the world that we now live in. And because the consequence of this, right, is terrible. The Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race. Okay, put a comment if you understood that reference. If not, Godspeed. But they have created out of this New World Order, this new order, this Novus Ordo, they have created a certain type of man. They have curated man in the way that they want man to be curated, which is what? A slave, dumb, physically not capable, broke, right? So a slave, whether you're a slave because, you're on your phone all the time, all of your free time is consumed with this black mirror, this demonic device that sucks your energy, sucks your soul from you, or whether you're a slave to the system, meaning you're a debt slave, you have a mortgage, inflation's through the roof. They're killing us that way too, right? Or offing us that way. I don't know if I can say that here, but anyways, the point is, they've created this, they've destroyed the old man, okay? The old man, the Ubermensch, the man that was outside, the great man, the greatness, the ambition, the fire, the solar power of man is gone. It's completely been destroyed. And it solidified its death in World War II, I think, the end of World War II. That's when it was really solidified. You could maybe argue the Cold War and because, Stalin was sort of an Ubermensch, but we're not going to get into that today. And so what do we do? How do we combat this industrial hellhole that we've all grown up in and we all hate? Because whether, it doesn't matter how free you are or how enslaved you are mentally. Okay, so if like you have some like CEO or some person or whatever that's like killing it in the system, they're a slave, but they're killing it. They're doing, you know, millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, or living a good life. Or whether you're a slave, you know, you work like a 9 to 5 or sort of a normal job, or maybe you're a small business owner just getting by. We all understand that there's something very seriously wrong with the way we're living, and it's because we're slaves. We're not living naturally. We're not living the way God intended us to live. Okay? And we all innately understand this. This is why depression, self-offing, things like this is at an all-time high for any society ever. Because everybody has this feeling, this innate feeling, something's very, very seriously off. And it's tragic. It's sad because we live in a capitalist, and I used to be a capitalist, right? When I was more of like a Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, conservative guy, you know, maybe in 9th, 10th grade, maybe earlier, 8th grade. But I've come to realize capitalism is the worship of capital. It has turned us humans, which are amazing creatures with the capacity to love and be creative and imaginative and to invent things and to gaze into the stars and to explore nature and to do all these wonderful, wonderful things that we can do. And it's turned us into these cogs in a big machine that is making money for a small amount of people. And we're all suffering for it, whether it's mentally, physically, or both. Spiritually also, so all three. And so what do we do? Like, what's the solution? How do we combat this hellhole that we've been brought up into? Well, the most obvious answer is just don't be a goy. Don't be a goyim. Don't be a goy slave, okay? And it starts up here, because up here creates everything. Because if you can see it up here, you can make it happen, right? All inventions start as an idea. So you need to start here and in here, your spirit, your soul. So meditate, learn yourself, right? Know yourself. A church father, an early church father, said to know yourself is to know God. Okay? Know yourself. I'm not saying you're God, but you get the point. Start reading. Build your intelligence. Build your knowledge, your gnosis. Okay, it starts here. And slowly but surely it keeps compounding. You have to be consistent. It's all about consistency. So doing this every day, day in and day out, right? Just making the passions suffer. And I'm not saying the passions as in like generic, what we know is sort of like passions that you shouldn't be doing, lusting and alcoholism and all those drugs. But I mean the passions of like quick dopamine. Going on your phone for an hour at a time. That's absurd. Okay? That's a fake world. It's a digital world. It's a black mirror sucking your energy and your soul. You need to put the phone down and you need to go outside, stare into the sun and meditate. Don't do it at high day. In the morning and evenings is fine, but don't do it at like midday when it's super bright. But you get my point. Okay, you need to go out, be in nature, be closer to nature. Being closer to nature means you're closer to God. You're closer to the divine. Because nature, aside from like humans, nature is the only thing that's closest to God. Because when you love people and you serve people, that is you bringing yourself closer to God. Because God likes those acts. Same thing, being in nature brings you closer to God. Because it's somewhat divine. It's like a form. It's a mirror of a perfect form, like in Plato's analogies, right? Start dressing nicer. Start figuring out what to do. So analyze the system and start revolting against it. Start doing the opposite of what the system tells you to do. Okay? Don't wait until you're in your 30s and 40s to have a family. Don't focus on only making money and only your career and ignoring spirituality, your inner development, your physical health, all these things. Do the opposite. Okay? And start building yourself up from that foundation, and you'll be better off for it. That's my first video. If you enjoyed,